everyone, I just wanted to start by saying that if you helped out with, donated to, or bought something from my big sale on February 8th, thank you so much. I ended up raising about $800 to donate to Mothers Against Drunk Driving, which is just amazing. It exceeded my expectations, so thank you very much. In addition to raising money though, I also just wanted to shed some light on my cause and raise awareness to drunk driving. If you go to MADD's website, you can see some of the amazing work they're doing in an effort to end drunk driving in the United States, but you can also see the sad statistics and see that it's still a huge issue that causes so many deaths and injuries each year that could easily have been prevented. I also just want to point out that just because drunk driving is a national issue does not mean that all states are created the same. Montana's laws in regards to DUIs are some of the worst. Some of you may or may not know, but a freshman girl from Columbia Falls lost her life last April when she was asleep in her bed at around 2 in the morning and she was killed by a drunk driver who crashed into her house. So clearly it's still such a big problem. Therefore, I feel like it's extremely important to raise awareness about the issue and educate people on the consequences that happen when you get behind a wheel intoxicated. Through this project, I was able to talk with Sergeant Stahlberg and our SRO, Officer Sullivan, and they were able to give me some more insight about drunk driving in Montana.
In the state of Montana, legal intoxication is 0.08 for an adult, or anybody of legal age would be 21 years or older. Anybody that carries a CDL, it's a 0.04. And anybody under the age of 21, which we call a baby DUI or a young kid DUI, would be a 0.02.
If it's your first DUI, obviously it's going to be a lot lesser penalties. If in the state of Montana, a felony is your fourth DUI. So on your fourth DUI, which is kind of ridiculous, it should be a lot lower. You shouldn't have to have 4 chances to kill somebody. On your fourth DUI, if you're convicted, usually what you do is you are placed in a high alcohol treatment program in Warm Springs. And you're there for 13 months. And then after that, usually you're out, but you're on probation. And then if you get another DUI or like offense, then they'll actually usually put you in prison after that. But it's kind of sad that the state of Montana allows you 4 chances to before you get that. A lot of states, their DUI laws are a lot tougher than ours. There's a lot of things that people can do. First and foremost, law enforcement, there's not enough of us around to pick up every DUI driver. You know from doing your research, we have a drinking culture in this state, and it's very hard to change that. So part of it's generational. So we have to change the next generation to where they want to drink responsibly. Probably half of the DUIs that I get during the year is because citizens call in. So that's the biggest help that we get. If you call in and you can get me a license plate number, that is really helpful, because usually the people are heading home and I can run their license plate number. Now, I might not be anywhere near the area where you're at. However, I can look up their registration and find out where they live. And maybe I can get to that point and start working back and then catch them in between. About 50% of the DUIs that I process during the year is because of folks calling in.
So I think the important thing to know is that even when we think that we've only had a couple or that we're okay to drive, especially as kids, we don't know our levels. And even as adults, that it's best to just not drive. It's not worth one wrong decision to ruin the lives of other people, and we have a lot of fatal accidents that involve being intoxicated or being under the influence of something. And you don't only ruin your life, you ruin the life of the person that was hurt or killed, and you also ruin both sides' families. So your outreach is huge, and I think that we need to remember that. And we have a tendency to think I'm fine when really we're not. So I'm not a fool and think that people don't drink that are underage. My hope is that nobody would, but if you do, just don't drive, get a ride.
Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you learned something, and please continue to raise awareness about drunk driving.